All right, you guys can hear me. Oh shit! Happens too often. Happens too often. I'm getting old. Um, getting old. All right, you guys can hear me. Way too often. Thank you for the 5 by 5 Kimberly, Evolving Media, Jerry, thank you for the 5 by 5 Toto, Dan Phillips, thank you. Let's go. Sway, Sarita, thank you for the 5 by 5 Sorry about that, guys. Teresa, thank you for the 5 by 5 Borman, Raccoon Eyes, Maria, I'll call Scott, thank you for the 5 by 5 guys. Highlander, Mitch, Trail Name, AZ, thank you for the 5 by 5 Pretty, thank you. Skydive, thank you for the 5 by 5 Netherland, Cobalt, thank you for the 5 by 5 Jim, Crow, Jay, Lisa, Dan Phillips, Tom Tom, Winter Homestead, Betty, thank you for the 5 by 5 Patty, Jamerk, excuse me, thank you for the 5 by 5 Bush Pig, Dakota, thank you for the 5 by 5 Jenny, Virginia, Kathy, Etta, is that how you say it? Etta, thank you for the 5 by 5 All Seeing, thank you for the 5 by 5 Tiger, Anonymous, Moose, excuse me, thank you for the 5 by 5 Carabine, thank you for the 5 by 5 Dawn, thank you for the 5 by 5 Raccoon Eyes, Joe 59, Jen Hayes 20, thank you for the 5 by 5 Maria Jackson, thank you for the 5 by 5 All right. Winter Homestead, thank you for the 5 by 5 William Pence, thank you for the 5 by 5 Anthony, thank you for the 5 by 5 All right, guys, so we're going to read this article real quick. The Watchman, thank you for 5 by 5 So, Prepper Revelator sent me the article. I've never been so annoyed my entire life. It's not shocking, it's annoyance. And it's annoyance, guys, by the things that they push, the nonsense that they try to get over on us. Now, we're going to go back to the beginning, back to 2019, when it's all started. When I was a young lad and I was minding my business and I looked in the news and I saw what was going on in China and I go, oh man, this looks like it's going to be cool. Anyway, this is going to be cool. This might turn into something. And then what was it, like late November? I started noticing something in China. Then December they were crying about it, and then before you know it, January it was like damn near not all over the world, but a large portion of the world started receiving this ailment that was going around. So watching this, watching people get scared and sick, and listen, I even bought into it. I will never deny that. I was at the firehouse. I was rubbing the rig down, rubbing down the Scott pack and everything that was being touched, and it took me probably a week, maybe less than that. It was a week. I remember it was a week because I remember saying other guys were getting sick and I wasn't getting sick, and I'm like, all right, something ain't right here. Guys are sitting across from me. One guy coughed in my face. I mean, we were going in a patient's home. It was bananas, and I didn't get sick. And I'm like, oh, I'm one of those people. I'm not gonna get sick. Fuck this thing, right? And so obviously, I just stopped listening to everything that was said. And then a young lady by the name of Sherry Tenpenny, doctor, started talking about, well, I'm not going to take this arm ticket because, and she rattled off a bunch of shit. So as she's rattling off shit, she's like, this is my wheelhouse. This is the stuff I deal in. I know what's what. I know what's not. I don't believe in this substance. Okay. So she said that. And then McCullough said the same thing, something similar, right? And I'm like, well, I'm gonna trust these doctors. Why am I trusting these doctors? Because all of the doctors made them look like psych patients. People like asymptomatic. I don't believe in that asymptomatic shit. Asymptomatic. People are like, oh, you're asymptomatic. They were pushing that nonsense to get everybody scared. Just because you don't have symptoms, don't mean you're not a carrier. Shut the fuck up. Even if I did, I never passed it on to anybody else. I didn't pass it on to my family. I was the only one going outside, and none of us caught it until they went to school. And I don't know if my kids were licking the fucking handrails or their friends, but then they got it. Johnny, well, listen, they tried to destroy Tenpenny, but she bounced back, and look at where she's at now. She's having all of these talks, if you will, these meetings. She bounced back. I think she was probably like in a shit spot at one point. I know McCullough was. He was like, he looked like he was ready to eat a bullet, man. You know, because they were talking about taking his doctor license away. I mean, even John Campbell, Dr. John Campbell on YouTube, he came around, right? He saw the nonsense and he was like, yo, you know, he says, I believed in this, not anymore. You know, a lot of people, a lot of doctors are turning it around, man. They're like, yo, we shouldn't have did this. This wasn't worth it. And again, and so I was screaming from the top of a mountain along with other people, don't do this. We're not doing this. And listening to these doctors who everybody were crushing. And listen, they were crushing them at that time. Anyway, so now I'm not listening to these doctors. I'm not listening to the mainstream doctors. I'm listening to these doctors. I'm like, yo, yeah, man, that's I'm gonna listen to this dude. Dawn said I almost died from. Yeah, listen, some people got it bad. I'm not gonna dispute that. I'm not saying it was, you know, not real, but a lot of people just, you know, didn't do well with it. My brother thought he was gonna pass away. He said he's never been sick like that in his entire life. My brother and I don't get sick. You know, I eventually caught it when I was being an asshole, right? Thinking I was Superman. I drank after my wife who was sick. She was like, I got COVID, don't drink after me. I'm like, I'm impervious to COVID. With that, a day later, I was in the bed like, I shouldn't have done this. But it wasn't that bad, right? I got up, I did what I was supposed to do, I laid back down. I went to go walk the dog, I cooked, I cleaned, I went and laid back down. It wasn't that bad, you know? But I never been sick like that, you know? And then that was it. Done. You know? Good, Dawn. You know, but a lot of people were scared into taking something they didn't need. But now they're trying to tell us that the Mr. 19 arm ticket can help with Mr. C, cancer. I don't know if it's a ploy, but we do know that there are more people getting sick with Mr. C or cancer. A lot more people are developing this disease now out of nowhere in a lot of cases, man. A lot of cases, people are like dancing and shit, break dancing, having a good time. All of a sudden, they get a twinge in their back and boom, their body's riddled with, you know, the big C. Riddled with it. And you're like, what the fuck happened? Some of these people are healthy. Some of these people are athletes. But they all had one thing in common. They took the bad boy juice. The boost juice, whatever you want to call it. They took it, and then they had other problems going along. Not to mention the psych issues that we're fucking seeing. Oh my God, we are seeing some major psych issues with this. We're seeing some crazy ass people do some crazy ass shit. Yes, a Grateful Prep, Dr. Tenpenny was spot on. And the crazy thing about Tenpenny though, she was like what's his name? Data from Star Trek Next Generation. She had like no emotions whenever she talked. She was like, yes, I am not taking this thing because there's something wrong with it. But should I have to take it, I'm not going to take it, and people shouldn't take it because, and she just no emotion, man. She spoke as like a matter of fact. And she was so, and that's what got me about it was the way she spoke about it. I was like, she's the one. I'm going to follow her. To the end of the earth, I'm going to follow her, right? But yeah, she did the right thing. And then, you know, they started exposing Fauci and his screw up with the whole HIV thing, and he killed a lot of gay dudes, man. A lot. With his bullshit. That AZT crap did not work. Wiped out the human body's immune system. Wiped it out. They wanted me to take the cocktail at one time because I was riding in the back of an ambulance, and there was this lady. We picked her up a couple of times. She had end stage AIDS, right? So she had the walking skeleton, and the walking skeleton that's full blown AIDS. You don't see that like anymore, but she had full blown AIDS, and whatever infection she got, her eye rotted out, so she had a patch over her eye. I remember I looked at it, I was like, holy shit, missing an eye, right? Nice lady, man. I felt so bad for her. If you ever felt bad for somebody, this lady I felt bad for. She had fell over because she wasn't feeling good that day, and she looked like I shit you not, a white Ethiopian. She was so skinny. She looked like they dragged her out of a concentration camp. So skinny, so weak. She walked around. She looked like death. And I felt bad. I mean, like I said, I don't feel bad for a lot of people, but I felt bad for her. And this was 20 years ago. She's undoubtedly gone. She's undoubtedly gone. Like I said, she had end stage. And so anyway, she's in the back of the ambulance, and I had a cut on my hand. And I remember she grabbed my hand because she started crying. And I felt bad for her. And I was like, and I felt bad for her. And she grabbed my hand. I couldn't remember if she grabbed my hand with a cut or my hand without a cut. And she had blood on her hand because she had fell. She had back of her head. So as long as, her bloody hand touched my intact skin, I was fine. I understand how HIV and AIDS work. I'm not worried about it. But when I had the open hand, I'm like, fuck, I can't remember. So I'm like, whatever. I'm gonna write it up just in case, Anyway, I write it up, and with that, they called me up and they're like, yo, you might need to take the cocktail. I'm like, I'm not taking the cocktail. I'm out on this shit. I'm not taking that because it wipes you out. It puts you on your ass. AZT knocks you out. I do not know how all those dudes that were taking it or people that were taking it dealt with that shit. It is bad news. I had a buddy in EMS. He took it because he got exposed. He got pricked with a needle. And he took the AZT. He took the cocktail. And he was taking a shower. And he was already feeling like shit from the cocktail. Passed out. Went through a plate glass window. The shower glass window. Cut himself. He didn't die. He's still alive. But he cut himself pretty bad. And the job wouldn't give him medical leave because he fell at home. But it was because he took the drugs. It's why he passed out. And they wouldn't give him the medical leave. Anyway, he wound up being okay. He never got AIDS. Neither did I. But I felt bad for her, And I remember when she got in the back of the ambulance, I didn't have gloves on, but I remember I was an old school EMT. They don't do that shit anymore. But so I just, covered her shit, wrapped her head up, and I was fine. I wasn't worried about it, but I felt so bad for her, man. She, I guess she ultimately passed away. She had to have. You would hear of people with end-stage AIDS. When you see it, it's an entirely different animal, man. And on top of that, there's a smell that comes from them. It's it's sad. You can't feel anything other than sad for them, And whatever she talked about, you just sat and listened, man. But anyway, not the point. AZT, bad shit, not good. Let's get into this article real quick. I don't want to read the whole thing. It's not a long article, so we'll read the whole thing. Anyway. The mRNA arm ticket may be helping some cancer patients fight tumors, research said. This article came out yesterday. The most widely used Mr. 19 arm ticket may offer a surprise benefit for some cancer patients, revving up their immune system to fight the tumors. I'm just adding the fucking, antics with this bullshit fucking report. But anyway, people with advanced lung cancer or skin cancer who were taking certain immunotherapy drugs live substantially longer if they got a arm ticket from both companies that begin with a P and an M within 100 days of starting their treatment, according to a preliminary research being reported Wednesday in the journal Nature. And it had nothing to do with the virus infection. Instead, the molecules that power those supposed specific arm tickets, mRNA, appear to help immune systems respond better to cutting-edge cancer treatments, concluded researchers from the MD Anderson Cancer Center in Houston and the University of Florida. This is so hard to read because it sounds like bullshit, but whatever. We're going to suffer together on this one. We're suffering together, whatever. Anyway, the arm ticket acts like a siren to activate immune cells throughout the body, said lead researcher Dr. Adam Griffin, the MD of MD Anderson. We sensitize immune-resistant tumor to immune therapy. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy has raised skepticism about the arm ticket vaccine, cutting $500 million in funding for some of the technology. Oh no, they can't use their In a position where someone needed CPR, I paused for a second, then went all in. I didn't have a mouth guard. Betty, yeah, listen, you're not going to get a lot of diseases in that manner. Not mouth to mouth, like CPR. Like unless they're gushing blood and you got like an open wound in your mouth, it's got there's a lot that goes into it. Not that easy. So don't worry about it. All right, guys, here we go. But this research team found that its results so promising that it is preparing a more rigorous study to see if the Mr. 19 nonsense should be paired with, get this, cancer drugs called checkpoint inhibitors, a interim step while it designs a new mRNA vaccine for use in cancer. Here we go. I hear the sound of money fucking chingling together. Anyway, a healthy immune system often kills cancer cells before they become a threat. That's where fasting comes into play, guys. Some tumors evolve to hide from immune attacks. I've heard of that before. Checkpoint inhibitors remove that cloak. It's a powerful treatment when it works. Some people's immune systems still don't recognize the tumor. The the mRNA is naturally found in every cell that contains a genetic structure for our bodies to make protein. While best known as the Nobel Peace Prize technology behind the on ticket, scientists have long been trying to create personalized stuff, treatment vaccines, that train immune cells to spot unique features of a patient's tumor. The new research offers a very good clue that maybe an off the shelf approach could work, said Dr. Jeff Kohler, an mRNA specialist at Johns Hopkins University, who wasn't involved with the work, but he made the fucking whatever. What it shows is that the mRNA medicines are continuing to surprise us in how beneficial they can be for human health. Griffin and his Florida colleagues have been developing a personalized mRNA cancer vaccine that they realized that even one created without a specific target appeared to spur similar immune activities against the big C. Griffin wondered if it already widely available arm ticket, Mr. 19 arm ticket, might also have some effects too. Sorry. So the team analyzed records of nearly 1,000 advanced cancer patients undergoing checkpoint inhibitor treatments at MD Anderson, compared to those who happened to get the Mr. 19 arm ticket from both companies, both terrible companies, with those who didn't. Vaccinated lung cancer patients were nearly twice as likely to be alive 3 years after beginning cancer treatments, as to their unvaccinated partners or persons. Excuse me. Among melanoma patients, median survival was significantly longer for vaccinated people, but exactly how much isn't clear, as some of the group were still alive when the data was analyzed. The non-mRNA vaccines, such as the flu shot, did not show any difference at all. Some are even saying Trump is trying to build a temple with his ballroom. Oh, the Watchmen, that might be interesting, but we're not talking about that. All right, that was the end of the article. So basically, guys, they're going to start pairing up the Mr. 19 arm ticket with cancer drugs. You see where that's going? Money. So because not a lot of people are interested in taking this nonsense anymore, now they're going to pair it up with drug treatment. Here we go. They're going to give it to you one way or another, man. You know, like if you had cancer right now and you never took this nonsense, if you come down with Mr. C, guess what they're going to give you along with it now? The arm ticket. You're going to be sitting there like, you're going to sit there with this arm ticket now. They're like, oh, it's going to help. We promise you it'll help. You'll be okay. No, you won't. That is just not a good look, man. I mean, like, they're trying everything to make sure you get this thing. They're like, yo, you're gonna get it soon, you know. Just amazing. And again, keep in mind what I said earlier. We watched more people pass away suddenly. There are so many people, young people passing away suddenly. It's bananas. It's bizarre. 31-year-old passing away suddenly. You know, some of them are behavioral issues that are ending their life early. Here we go. So boss lady, the food thing is not quite true. They're trying to put it in food. The problem they're having is that it's not holding, right? So they put it in lettuce, for example. And if you leave lettuce out and it gets to room temperature, the arm ticket that has to be refrigerated, it's no longer viable. So it breaks down. So it's useless. Putting it in meat is useless. People they're going to put it in our meat. It has to withstand the cooking temperature, which no arm ticket can do. Not one arm ticket out there right now can withstand the heat index of cooking, right? So whatever that temperature is. Now, if you eat it raw, then yeah, you're screwed. But if you don't eat it raw, and you cook it, especially when you do well done, it null and voids it. Right? So you just keep that in mind, for the next time, someone brings it up. It hasn't passed it. They've been trying, don't get me wrong, they continuously working on it to see if they can get it, but they can't because the heat is the major point. So putting it in fruits and vegetables is their better option right now. That's what they can go with. And again, you got to keep the fruits and vegetables, depending on the fruit, depending on the vegetable, you got to keep that refrigerated. Northern Girl Hobbies. I haven't seen a chemtrail since the government shut down. I mean, it's night now, but I haven't seen any chemtrails either. Someone pointed that out, and I every morning I look out my window, I'm like, okay. I don't get me wrong, I'm not going to yell at the fucking top of my lungs, like, oh my God, but no. Moose, cold meats, maybe, but they would have to do that afterward. Because even cold meats are cooked, right? Like ham, you got to cook that. Cheese is not cooked. You could probably get away with it in cheese. You could probably get away with it in not turkey, because you got to cook turkey breast. You got to cook chicken breast before you slice it. You could probably put it in afterwards, but then it's useless, right? So again, just keep that in the back of your head, man. That's all. It's very hard to get it in foods. Trust me. Lettuce is almost useless anyway. Yeah, and that's, I mean, who's eating lettuce? Unless you're fucking rabid, who's eating lettuce? You know they got the 5-star restaurants downtown. They got iceberg lettuce, like a dish, and they serve like lettuce leaves with like some bullshit on it, and they charge you $23 for this. I was breaking the waiter's balls. Breaking his balls. This was a year or two ago. My wife's like, leave him alone. I'm like, no, because he can go in the back of the kitchen and complain about how stupid it is to pay $23 for 3 leaves of lettuce and some sprinkled bullshit on it and call it a fancy meal. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Fucking sprinkle. I'm like, what was it, like croutons and like three leaves of lettuce joined in like this, and it was like some crouton on it. Like there might have been meat, like a piece of chicken. It was wild. And they were charging $20-something for this shit. It's called iceberg lettuce something. It's like there's another term for it. I'm like, this is dumb. And he's like, he doesn't make it wedge salad, right? Is that it, Kathy? It's dumb. It's the dumbest thing in the world. Iceberg wedge, yeah, it's the dumbest thing in the world. It's just, and they want to charge $20-something for that. Fucking, what is that? Iceberg lettuce, like a whole thing is like what, $2-3? It's nothing. Fucking people. Some of the restaurants you go to, man, you're just like, yo, this is dumb. It's the dumbest thing in the world. No chemtrails in Washington State either. No chemtrails in, someone said Connecticut, right? Yeah, man. Somebody pointed that out, and I was like, oh shit, they're right. And every day I look up, I'm like, nothing. No. But anyway, with that being said, yeah, guys, they're gonna continue to sell us nonsense. They're gonna be selling us nonsense for a long time. you know, and we're going to buy into this stupidity. So not us, but other people are going to buy into it, and it's infuriating how some people buy into some of the things that are just being said, no matter what it is. Just people are buying into stupid shit, you know. And granted, man, you know, like for example, Candace Owens. Candace Owens does say some crazy shit, but now a lot of the crazy shit she's starting to say is starting to make sense. Now, again, a couple of guys in the firehouse like, oh, she's a nut. I'm like, why is she a nut? Because she talked against Trump, your savior. She's been spot on so far. Yes, it's the way she delivers it. She sounds like a nut, but even she's pulling back now because someone had to talk to her because she calmed down now and she's like, you know, she's what you call it? She's spot on. You know, again, she never went to Israel. She wasn't about that bullshit. At least I don't think she did. Or maybe she went once and she was like, never again. It was one of the two. Either she never went or she didn't go. But she wasn't down with that bullshit. She was like, nope. She's been exposing a lot of shit. She said that Charlie Kirk was betrayed by everyone. I was leading to that because a lot of shit wasn't making sense. So I was thinking, yep, I'm pretty sure they all stabbed her in the back. And now she's saying the same thing because she got new information. But she got new information and what you call it? Yeah, the angry lettuce. I should start that delectable meal, right? Who wants a $30 lettuce head? I'll make it for you. I'll put some anger and hate into it, you know. Sprinkle some fucking atrocities on it and some shit. And there you go. You got yourself a salad. It's stupid. It's dumb. It's retarded. There's some of the shit that people pay for out there because of the price. You know that skirt steak used to be cheap shit meat, right? The back straps of a cow, and now it's expensive. But before it used to be the meat, and you couldn't give it away. And the poor would take it, especially the Italians. They would take it because it was cheap, and they made meals out of it. Now, it's fucking the most expensive meat out there. The skirt steak. It's just a trending thing, man. That's all it is. It's a trending thing. So, you know, someone says, oh, man, we're going to lace these lettuce in gold, and we're going to... No, we're not. We're not doing any of that shit. We're not lacing anything in gold. We're not putting it near my mouth. We're not doing any of that crap. Fuck you. Get out of here. Beat it, you know? Sounds better than made with love. Yeah, made with hate. That's what you need, a salad, man. Made with hate. Eat some salad, get up in the morning, hate some shit, right? A liberal preferably, but if you can't have a liberal around you, then hate something else. Yes, thank you. Kobo, lobster used to be for the poor, right? Now it's a fancy meal. I'm going to have some lobster. What are you going to have, Benson? You're going to have cod? You know, like, that's the kind of shit they would say to each other back then. You're going to eat tuna, boy? You know? I mean, tuna was always a decent piece of fish, actually. What's that? Monkfish, right? You're going to have monkfish, boy? I'm going to have some lobster and shrimp. Both of them used to be shit meat. And here we go. Yeah, chicken wings are expensive. So, if you don't get your chicken wings this week, it's going to be out of sale because everybody's going to be fucking grabbing it from the shelves when they ransack the stores if they don't get their money. Listen, I think the contingency plan is going to happen. There's a side of me that's like, it has to happen. I can't see a politician looking at this shit unfold. You know, the no snap benefits thing. I can't watch them looking like, let's see where this goes. I can't see any of them doing that. And, you know, I mean, again, I'm being naive, so forgive me. Don't tell me you eat your steak well done. 5G, no, I don't. I don't eat it well done. I'm not a savage or retarded. That's dumb. People are like, I eat my steak well done. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Get away from me. I like my burger well done. Kick rocks. Matter of fact, just delete yourself from my channel. I don't want to hear it. You just well done? What are you, a fucking Martian? Or a child? People are like, who is it? Nick Fuentes is like, I don't like eating, I think he said steak. He's like, I don't like eating steak. It doesn't taste good. Because you're retarded and stupid. Fucking steak is the shit, man. Especially the way I do it, man, it's the shit. I get the nice brown crusted layer on both sides of the steak. Boom. Smoked carp is delicious. Is it? Exactly. PAMT. Medium rare or less. Absolutely. Well done. You go to the gulag, man. Get out of here. Beat it. You know? Fucking Put ketchup. You put your ketchup on steak? No. Who does that? There was a kid in the firehouse. I almost fucking threw the ketchup out. He was putting ketchup on. We had, I think, New York strip. He was putting ketchup on it. He's Dominican, so that's. Let me lead with that. And I'm like, I said, dude, if you ever do that in front of me again, I'm gonna throw your steak in the fucking garbage. I said, taste the fucking steak first, then never put ketchup on it ever again. I was like, what the fuck, man? That was just bizarre. My sister used to put ketchup on everything. She used to put ketchup in rice. Oh, fucking gross. Ketchup only goes on like a couple of things. Doesn't go on rice, doesn't go on fucking pizza, and it does not go on a good piece of steak. But I know, anybody can do whatever they want these days. You know, if guys get dressed up like chicks, you can put ketchup on your steak. Jesus. Anyway, I'm going to go off the air now. I'm tired. I want to go lay down. I'm going to go take my, what is that called? My magnesium glycinate. I'm going to go lay down. And then I get up early, get my day started again. Oh, God. Anyway, I appreciate you guys for following me tonight. Thank you for joining me in such a last minute notice, man. I know you guys are like, what the fuck? Why is the Angry Pepper on? Something happened? That's probably why a lot of you joined me tonight. You thought some shit was going down, because I said it wasn't going to be here. But here I am. Anyway, guys, I appreciate it as always. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the ball breaking. And yeah, see you guys next week. Enjoy your weekend as well. All right? See you guys later.